Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about ways that I spiced up my life, ways that I romanticize my life, some ideas that maybe you can use to add some seasoning to make your days seem more worthwhile. So let's just get into it. It's going to be a list of 3 things. So the first thing on the list is a photo wall. My closet door is directly across from my bed, so I put a bunch of photos on that door of basically all the unique and fun celebrations and outings I have throughout the year with my friends. So I have photos up there from the 4th of July, from when me and my friends went to see the Maxine premiere. I have photos from the eclipse that was in April. So I used that space to highlight really special memories and get a visual reminder of them, and it's directly across from my bed, which is usually where I'm sitting because there's no other place to sit in this room. There's no space. So a lot of times when I'm not really doing anything and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, wow, this was so much fun, because I'm getting reminded of it and I'm thinking of that. And it's good to spend your time thinking about positive things versus negative things. I think that seems pretty obvious. So if you have something that's essentially going to incentivize you to think of positive memories versus bad memories, I feel that that's going to improve your overall quality of life. You can print the photos on regular printer paper. I use the HP Sprocket printer, so it's actual little Polaroid sized photos. And they do have a sticker backing. So basically you can print the photo out, peel off the back and stick it right on like a sticker. But what I do is I use tape and I keep the backings on, I put them on the door. Then at the end of the year, or not even the end of the year, more like in the springtime, because that's when it feels like the year is really getting into the swing of things, I take them all down and then I remove the backing and stick them into a scrapbook, and I make different scrapbook pages for different seasons and events and times and things that I did with my friends. Aside from photos, if you have things like movie tickets or invitations, you can incorporate those as well, either just in the scrapbook or also putting them on the door. These days we take a lot of pictures of things, but we have so many photos clogging up our camera rolls that we probably don't often go back and look at these things. But this kind of removes the barrier of having to search for the photos. And it's also fun to, every time I do something and I take a good picture, to come home and know that I'm going to get to print out the photo and stick it on the wall. I'm just like very randomly losing my voice right now, so I hope that things sound okay going forward. So besides that, let's just get into number 2. Collecting things, collecting items. I know a lot of people maybe now in the internet age have a negative feeling towards collections or collecting things, because I'm going to use the example of Stanley Cups. If you're interested in Stanley Cups, by the way, quick plug, if you're interested in Stanley Cups, one of my most recent videos is diving into this mystery of this like fake cup that I got for Christmas, and we didn't know it was fake and we didn't know, whatever. I'm solving the Stanley Cup mystery. So if you want to see me solve the Stanley Cup mystery, it's on my channel. But anyway, I digress. Some people have 80 different Stanley Cups and people find that excessive, which, yeah, I can understand finding that excessive. But I think that where this really becomes a problem is people who build up massive stores and massive hoards of whatever the latest trend is, as opposed to just collecting things that they truly are interested in and that they like. And if it's an item that's supposed to have a function and a purpose, you should use it the way it's meant to be used. So like if you're gonna collect cups and have a ton of cups, unless they are specifically collector's cups, you should use them and drink out of and not have an excess that you can't use. But I actually have a few different collections. One of the main things that I collect is purses. And I have 2 videos up so far of my purse collection. That's not even like the full amount of purses that I own. I think I still have other ones that I have to show you guys. But I really like to collect purses and I use them. If I were to just be buying them and then not using them, maybe then people can come at me for overconsumption or something. But I don't think that collecting something is inherently overconsumption. When I buy a bag, I don't buy it just to buy it. It has to have a pattern or colorway that I'm really passionate about. It has to be unique and different enough to make me want to add it to my collection. I have to be able to envision a specific purpose that I could utilize it for. So I switch out my bags roughly every month, sometimes more, sometimes less. And this way I'm making use of mostly my entire collection. I have some bigger bags that I don't really use anymore, but that's because I bought them before I got injured. So now with my injury and stuff, I don't tend to gravitate towards big bags as much as I used to, but I still have them and pull them out at times when I need them and when it makes sense to use them. So you could easily collect something like bags, or you could collect little figurines and trinkets. I kind of have a trinket collection. I don't collect specifically one kind of trinket, but I collect things that catch my eye and I display them in my room. And then if something's not on display, I put it away and then I'll switch them out throughout the year. A really big collection that I have is a Hello Kitty and Sanrio collection, and I don't keep them as collectibles. There are some people who keep their items as collectibles, leave them in the box, leave them with the tags with the packaging on. I don't do that. I enjoy my stuff. I either actively sleep with it in my bed, or if it's a more delicate plush, I put it aside and I display it, or I'll put it on my bed during the day, but not when I sleep at night. I have a tons of different systems and things that I've developed for taking care of my collections. I have a few different ones. You don't have to have as many as me. It can be fun to have a collection because then you're always on the lookout for something to add to it. Even if you're not buying all the time, it can make going out more interesting to be like, oh, well, I collect little ceramic birds. And if I go to a store and I see they have a little ceramic bird, I get to be excited about that because I have a ceramic bird collection. Third and final thing on the list is hobbies and crafting. My hobby is crafting usually, but I have a few other ideas for hobbies that I've dabbled in or that you guys can try. One hobby is photography. So I have an Instax mini camera, and sometimes, usually in the summer, not so much in the winter, I'll take it to the park and I'll just snap some photos of different animals I see or different scenery and things that look cute. So that can be a fun thing to do. Most people these days spend their downtime exclusively on their phone watching things or scrolling through social media. And while it can be good to have that time if you enjoy it, I think a lot of people don't like that much when it's done in excess, but they're not sure what else to fill their time with and they don't have a ton of energy. It can be a benefit to your life to have a hobby other than scrolling socials. Playing a sport or even exercising can also be a hobby. If there is a certain kind of exercise that you really like yoga, that can be a hobby. Not just something you do for physical fitness, but because you enjoy learning the different poses and you actively try to get better at it, that can be a hobby. Another hobby is reading. And I'm tempted to put a little bit of a caveat on this, because I know that now online in certain places, especially like TikTok, there is a community around reading, but I feel like sometimes certain aspects of that community can be very competitive and encourage you to just fly through books and read as many as possible. If that's what you like to do, then go ahead and do that. For me personally, the way that I read is I like to actually spend more time with my books and really absorb them versus just trying to speed read them so I can check something off on a list. But at the same time, I also don't read a lot of those cozy romance books that a lot of people are into right now. So maybe you don't have to spend a ton of time on that. It depends what you read. But reading can be a good hobby too. And especially reading a physical book, I am partial to, because I feel like it puts you in a different frame of mind than reading something on your iPad or your phone or listening to an audiobook. Obviously, you have to read in a way that's accessible to you. And if you can't afford to get books like the physical copies, or if it really doesn't matter to you whether you read it on an electronic device or in hand, then just do it the way that works for you. But I like having physical books because there are no other distractions built in, and it just puts you in a different frame of mind when you're doing it. So that's what I have for today's video. Before we close it out, I want to make a quick channel announcement / update. As you guys are probably aware, TikTok is going to be banned. In fact, by the time I'm posting this, I think TikTok will have been banned by then. And one thing I'm concerned about is that ByteDance also owns the editing app that I use, CapCut, and if CapCut also gets banned, I'm not sure what I'm going to be editing on. So I just want you guys to be aware that if CapCut becomes no longer accessible to me, the look of my videos may change and the editing quality might decrease because I'm going to have to find a different editor and learn how to use it. So the look and feel of my content might change. I really hope CapCut doesn't also get banned, but there hasn't been a lot of clarity on whether or not it's included in the rules, or included in the law rather, that's being passed. But if you guys watched until the end, comment a swan emoji down below because it matches my sweater. And let me know if you'll be trying any of these things, or if you have any things to already do that make your day better, that make you happy. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.